in by the Subcommittee on Oversight and Investigations. Now, the subcommittee's chairman joins us now. It's Congressman Randy Neugebauer. Joins us live from Capitol Hill. Congressman, welcome to In Business. Do you believe that Edith O'Brien will in fact be testifying, or will she take the fifth?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on the program. Well, I'm hopeful that she'll testify because Edith O'Brien, I think, knows a lot about the last days and hours of MF Global and could probably help shed a lot of light on how farmers and ranchers and investors lost almost $1 billion.
If she does not testify and tries not to incriminate herself, where do you take this committee? I mean, what do you hope to learn today?
Yeah, well, you know, this is our, as you mentioned, this is our third hearing. We're trying to do an autopsy on trying to find out exactly what happened here, whether it was a regulatory failure, a corporate failure, a system failure, because what we want to do is find out exactly what happened before people start crying for additional regulation here. We want to make sure that we have a clear understanding of the MF Global story, which we will translate into some kind of a report. But most importantly, just trying to find out how a system that's worked extremely well for numbers of years, decades, all of a sudden had a major breakdown.
Right. Well, I mean, when you look at the technicalities here, using customer funds from the type of accounts that were there at MF Global from these foreign accounts isn't necessarily illegal. It certainly seems immoral, or some other term that you can choose to apply there. Do you think that there will be ultimately someone charged with wrongdoing if there isn't necessarily a criminal action here?
Yeah, well, somehow over $1 billion in customer money is missing, and so there's going to have to be some accountability on what happened to that money, because obviously when at some point in time they started dipping into customers' money, and at that point in time, you know, that was a major breach.
Well, we do see from John Corzine himself, he said that one of the first places he'd look for that $1 billion is at J.P. Morgan, some of those accounts there. What do you intend to ask of those J.P. Morgan representatives?
Yeah. Well, you know, the MF Global had a number of clearing banking relationships, and so they're transferring at the instructions of the senior management of this company. And so I think what we're focusing on primarily right now is what was going on inside the company, who was giving orders, and at what point in time did they realize that they had dipped not just using company money, but they started using customer money. And the fact that it's at this large a number, you know, comes into question exactly when were the customer segregated accounts really out of balance, and hopefully we hope to understand that.
Will you be asking for the former CEO, John Corzine, to come back to Capitol Hill?
Well, we're going to see where this hearing goes. What we've been doing is looking at thousands of documents, and you know, and obviously we've got other people doing investigations, and so as we do more and more discovery, that really determines what our next step is. But ultimately, what we want to do is do a really good job of ascertaining and understanding what happened, so that when we publish our report, we'll know what changes, if any, within the system that need to happen, so that we don't have farmers and ranchers, you know, and investors losing their money like this. This system has operated fairly well over the years, and this is one of the first breaches, so we want to be careful here to overreact, but at the same time, these people will like to know what happened to their money.
I'm sure. Thank you very much, Congressman, and we'll be monitoring